I mean, you're talking an eighth of the amount of time that it takes, less than that. You know, you're talking like 1/16 of the amount of time you guys practice almost. You can suck it up. And all of a sudden I dropped like a minute quick, and then the next race was another, and I mean, and I'm racing, you know, back then it was a lot, and how many of you from Florida, but back then it was a lot harder to get to state as an individual, because it was top 7 individuals and only top 4 teams from regionals. No matter what region you were in, and no matter how many, you know, people were on that line, it was 7 individuals.
What's it now?
It's 15 and 6.
Hey, and back then, wasn't it just the top 7
Yeah.
only? It didn't matter
Yeah.
if they were on a team.
It didn't matter if they were on
I
a
was
team or
gonna
not.
say,
They
it
didn't
wasn't-
they didn't
there was no
displace.
displacement.
There was no displacement. If you were top 7, it was that top 7, whether they were on a team that made it or not. Those 7 are the 7 that are going. And the top 4 teams at your region were it. And that was it. And I came from a stacked region with Naples High School and, you know, Laley and McGarry and all those squads that were down there in Estero with the Whaleys that ran for Bob. You know, state championship team back then. So, you know, it was, but I had my goal. I was going to be at state. Actually, my goal was to be between the twins. One was a state champ, the other kid was about 3rd or 4th usually. And, you know, my goal was to do that. And that's all I had my goal on. Wasn't time, wasn't anything else, because I knew that they were going to be up there, and that's what I did. By the end of the season, I was between the twins. That was awesome. They were 2 years older. Hey, your pinky finger is the smallest, most useless. It's humility. You guys have to be humble. That's whole, you know, if you guys haven't had a chance to talk to Mike Fout, who's won the biggest thing you can as a high school runner, the Foot Locker National Championship, he is the most humble person I've run into. I mean, he is so humble. He has no problem talking about it. And when he talks about it, it's not, oh, I'm the greatest ever that year. I whooped these, you know, it's, I had a good day. It was a perfect situation. You know, he's really, really considerate and humble about how it is. And people at that greatness need to be and realize it. They get there because of their humility, not in spite of it. They get there because of it. You know, being appreciative of the other people that have helped you, those little things along the way are the things that will make you a better runner in the end, whether you notice it or not. You know, that 10% mental that Harvey's talked about before, some of that is knowing that you need to appreciate and enjoy everything that's happening to you too. Enjoy that your parents have paid for this. Enjoy the fact that, you know, they know you care enough. You know, respect that. Don't give them crap during the year because of it. You know, be humble. You know, nothing you ever gain throughout your entire life can be as worthwhile as you leaving the world a better place than when you got here. You know, make sure you have an effect on other people's lives. You know, help your teammates. Help that JV kid come up and be the 6th guy. Help that other guy on your team. Don't, you know, be scared he's going to take your spot. You know, help them. I've seen that too many times on teams where there'll be a guy that's, you know, chasing the other guy, and, you know, they'll trash talk each other. And I mean negative, not just like normal, oh, I'm chasing after him. It's, I mean, teammates like just despising each other. You know, why? What is that negativity going to do for you? Does that help you? Does it make you feel like a better person? No, one, it makes you kind of feel like crap because you realize you probably shouldn't have said it. So there's some bad on you. And you make them feel bad, and then whoever you said it to probably thinks less of you for saying it. You know, all of a sudden, you've just made like 3 people, and whoever they tell lies, more negative for nothing. Just because you felt like saying something stupid. You know, be positive. Try and help other people around you. You know, that's why I'm here, that's why he's here. You know, I've been a, you know, on and off lifelong runner. I got hurt towards the end of college and, you know, tore some cartilage in my knee and had some other issues, but, you know, I've come back to it, come full circle because of people like Bob and, you know, other coaches in my area that's just like, hey, you need to get back to it. You know too much to not be doing good for other people. And, you know, so that's where I am with it. And what I have for you guys is, there's more to it. No, sorry. There is more to it. I just wanted to go with you. I mean, you guys, anything you believe in your mind, you can achieve. I know you guys have heard that before a million times, but you really can do anything. So if you want, we'll pass it around.
Guys, on a guy like Mike Fout, he's an unbelievably humble guy. But don't mistake that for being a guy that's okay when he loses. Okay? I mean, he's a poor loser. I may be worse. He said, I might be the reason why he's a poor loser. That doesn't mean that he's not gracious to the people in the race. He's just hard on himself. He gets really PO'd when it doesn't go the way he expects. And sometimes we as coaches try to give you a little perspective, but hey, dude, you know, that guy was better today. You had a good race, that guy was better today. Or dude, hey, you've only been healthy for 11, 12 straight months. These guys have been doing straight on through. You've only run 70 miles a week for 1 year. That dude ran 100 in high school.
And you can only control what you do. You can't control what the Chris Derricks and the Luke Peskedras do. You can't control that. All you can do is be better yourself. You know, I saw all these kids talking on, you know, Facebook and Florida runners, chasing Duvall and Clark and Pickering this year. You can't change what those guys are doing. They're doing what they're doing. You do what you do to try and get them. You can't affect their training by you running 100 miles this month, or this week, whatever. You running 100 miles does not affect if they're going to run fast or slow. It only helps or hurts you. All you can worry about is you.
And the humility thing, guys, be aware with you know, obviously internet and tweets. I don't allow my crew to do any of that posting. Even though Kieran's very humble, he does have his running. He has a blog. He has his running thing online, and lots of times, usually Coach Harvey alerts me to it, but lots of times I have to say, look, dude, nobody needs to know what you're doing. Nobody needs to know what we're doing. You know, there are some idiots out there who care what you're doing, but again, the idiots care, all right? You don't need, there's a high school kid in Orlando who had an FL Runners weekly article. Let's say his name is Joe Smith, and the thing was called Being Joe Smith. What? Being Joe Smith, and wrote about his life and his training and his goals. I don't think any of us kids are, I mean, we all have our own situation. You're not being Joe Smith in high school. Get over yourself.
Right.
All right? And of course, he's going to go run for the Evil Empire where he belongs. But we don't allow that in our team. We don't do that. You know, you guys, we do our business. And I tell you, all the good coaches in this room will tell you, you don't gain anything from running smack on people. All you do is motivate them to come back and get you. All right? You beat them, and then you act nice to them, and then you keep them down. Jay, I know we've talked about this.
Yeah, and a lot of times, sometimes my team asks me, Coach, why are you cheering for the other team? I mean, I'm doing two things. And I tell my kids, hey, you be as nice as you can to everybody. Because if you're nice to them before the race, during the race is a little bit different story, but you can still be nice and get away with stuff. And after the race, you walk right up to them. If they beat you, hey, congratulations, that was a good run. Thanks for helping me out because you carried me out. And they may come back and do the same thing. But being nice to people usually creates a scenario where they are less likely to run up your rear end and try and hammer you. They'll run up next to you and try and help you. Elizabeth, it's just that little, it's still a battle. They still want to beat you, but they're less likely to blow by you and discourage you from staying with you.
It's a tactic.
It is. And, and the other piece of the tactic is this. As a coach, I try and relay info to my team during the race without alerting everybody what's going on. It could be, hey, well done, keep it up, let's try and get 2 more. And then a little bit after that, loud enough so that same kid can hear it, it's, hey, good job, Winter Springs, keep it up. My team just heard me talk to that, and they have mentally gone, that was about 10 seconds. They know they're 10 seconds up on that kid, and I want the Winter Springs kid to do better, because if that Winter Springs kid gets to my kid, that's going to carry my kid on. Okay? And you've got to learn to be humble, say thanks, hey, good job. Be friends with people, because they're going to help you in the race. When you least expect it, they'll run up next and say, hey, let's do this together. It's just like the trail runs. You know, we'll pass you. Some of you, stopped to tie your shoes. Some of you stopped to blow chow today. Some of you stopped to look at the tree for a second. Some of you stopped and just faked like you were tired for a second. But we all went by and asked, hey, are you all right? Because if we can suck you into the group, now the group carries you. And you might recover when we get tired. But being humble is a big deal. It really does work to your advantage.